Welcome to all Thursday Geeks of the Week. I'm Mario. This week I talk some comic stuff, quickly discuss Avengers vs. X-Men, dabble in Marvel now, bring up The Walking Dead, and finally recommend some scary traits for this month of October. Now on to the video. I'm going to start with Steph. Good eye and fracking for the statue. I too am a big Rocky Horror Picture Show fan. It's by far the best movie experience I've ever been to, and we should totally go to a midnight showing. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, do yourselves a favor. Find the midnight showing of the Rocky Horror Picture Show and go to that. It's so much fun. It's kind of crazy, but in a good way. Such an entertaining, such a blast. You know, I haven't been one to in months, and I'm hoping to change that soon, but I haven't found one nearby. But I really hope I do because it is a lot of fun. Pyro, I know the feeling about PETA attacking something you love because they've attacked Super Mario over his Tanuki suit, which is his raccoon suit. You know, because he's wearing fur. What? They act as if he's skinned a raccoon and is wearing the fur to be fashionable. No. That suit provides a valuable service, and I just don't get it. So it's crazy that they're not going after Pokemon. Nikki, it was awesome learning something new about you. So here's something new about me. I do not have a middle name. The middle name I actually use, a friend gave to me. You know, they took it for one of the rest of the Element characters, which I love. It kind of fits with my name, and now I just roll with it. And finally, Luluko. Your video made me smile ear to ear. It was so epic. If you guys haven't seen it, go to it. She's reviewing comics now, and it's already by far a better reviewer than I am. I don't know what I'm going to end up doing. I probably will stop reviewing comics. You know, I'll buy them and just ship them out to her and let her review them because she seriously did an amazing job. She brought up some points that I didn't, and I love seeing different point of views, and I loved seeing hers. And Maria was so cool. Don't think I didn't notice the little touches in the back. You know, I really like the parody or the homage or whatever you would call it, but I was definitely flattered. So thank you for it, and I hope you continue to review comics because you did an excellent job. You really did. And so happy to see your face again because we all missed you. And now I'm going to go into a quick comic book rant on behalf of Luluko because something she said really made me angry and just upset. So I'm going to go on a quick rant on something Luluko mentioned that made me really mad on her behalf. And that is the fact that she almost had to pay $10 for the first issue of Harvest, which would be complete and utter bullshit. It's one of the biggest problems in comic books today. The markup value on what's perceived to be a hot comic. It's completely unreasonable to charge somebody more than twice the cover price for a comic that's not even that old. And you're doing that based on what? Because it's hard to get? Yeah, I've heard that before, and like I said, it's bullshit. You know what you could do with those $10? You could buy Harvest when it comes out on trade. You could buy other trades. Saga recently came out. I checked on Amazon. I still think it's under $10. It's complete, like I said, bullshit that you try to charge somebody that amount for one issue. It's not good. It turns off new readers, and that makes me very mad. So Luluko, I'm very happy you found a great comic book shop that did the right thing and sold it to you at the right price. If you ever find yourself in a situation where you can't find it at the right price, let me know. I'll get it to you for free because you're my friend, and I don't want anybody to go through that, and I'm just so happy you're getting into comics. So that's my rant. I'm going to quickly discuss Avengers vs. X-Men, and now that it's over, handle the topic as a whole. To me, AvX will remember for two things: the return of a certain status quo and the fall of Scott Summers. Over the years, his character has evolved and reached his tipping point in this event. He has a long road of redemption ahead of him, and that's even if he chooses to undertake it because he's shown very little remorse. Now the question becomes, was AvX worth it? No, with a but. For starters, it was too long. 12 issues at $3.99 each issue, except for the last issue, which was $4.99, for a grand total of $48.88. Was AvX worth that amount? Absolutely not. And I'm not even counting the spin-offs how I bled into the other books. Price-wise, I can't endorse that. Now here comes the but. But it was important to the Marvel U. It did change things and cause great debate. There are a lot of people on Scott Summers' side, and they have a legitimate point of view and a strong case, which is causing great discussion, and that's always interesting. Here are my concluding thoughts on AvX. For an event book, which is the equivalent of a summer blockbuster film, it was okay. It was passable. Now I assure you, any criticism you hear about AvX is warranted and absolutely true, but all I'm saying is there were some positives. If you want to hear a longer discussion about this, I was recently a guest on Deadpool's podcast. I will be posting a link below, but I do warn you, it's full of spoilers, so don't go to it unless you've already read it. Now on to Marvel Now. In the aftermath of AvX, you have Marvel Now. And all Marvel's doing is releasing new number ones of their books. They're not rebooting their universe or anything. My only concern is the new reader friendly. Because even if you keep continuity, once you release new number ones, you should make it accessible for new readers to jump in. So it doesn't matter if you read AvX or not, you should be able to jump into these books and follow along. Here's a quick list of the ones I'm looking forward to. Uncanny Avengers, written by Rick Remender, art by John Cassidy. New Avengers, written by Jonathan Hickman. Indestructible Hulk, written by Mark Waid. Iron Man, written by Kieran Gillian, art by Greg Land. Thor, God of Thunder, written by Jason Aaron and art by Esad Ribic. And in news that I actually heard in Steph's cosplay page, it's going to be Young Avengers, written by Kieran Gillian. Once I saw the lineup, was very excited. I'm just as excited as Steph. Sadly, we're going to have to wait for January for that book, but totally worth it. And finally, Deadpool, because I always liked the character. I saw the cover, I liked it, and I'm hoping it's going to be good. So, other than Deadpool and Young Avengers, which is going to be $2.99, all the other books I listed is going to be $3.99, which means I'm going to be even more critical than I usually am, and any dip in quality is going to warrant a drop for me. If you have any more questions about Marvel Now or any particular book you would like me to review, feel free to leave a comment below and I will get back to you. The Walking Dead is set to premiere this Sunday and I'm very excited. The first season was amazing. The second season, well, the first half was weak, but the second half was so strong. And I've seen trailers for the third season and it looks epic. I cannot wait for it. It looks so amazing. Which actually brings me up to something I bought, and that is Walking Dead Book 8. I only read Walking Dead in this book form. I wait an entire year and read a year's worth of Walking Dead this month because I love reading the great zombie story in October. I've always loved Halloween and always loved trying to get scared this time of month. And that's the only reason you won't see me review a Walking Dead single issue or why Walking Dead it's not in my regular top 5. It's a stellar comic. It's never really dipped in quality. Everybody should be reading it, at least in trade form. Just such an amazing comic. Now I'm going to recommend some trades for this time of month. So I love October, I love this time of month, and because of that I'm going to recommend some scary trades that are not The Walking Dead. Because at this point you should either be reading that or watching that. So I'm going to start with Echoes. Written by Joshua Luluko and art by Rasheen Eketel, and this comic is about the story of Brian Cohen, a married man who's expecting his first child when his life changes because of his father's ominous deathbed confession about a box in their old home. When Brian goes to investigate, what he finds in the box is, well, horrifying. He has psychosis, and because of that, he doesn't know what's real and what's not at times. When he tries to put his father's confession behind him, a new development arises and a police investigation begins. This was a freakishly mind-twisting tale. Because you don't know what the main character knows what's real and what's not at times, you won't know until the end, and it's going to have you guessing all the way through. The artwork was excellent and very well crafted. I love Eketel's use of the panels to convey Brian Cohen's psychosis. It was a smart move. It's in black and white, and there are a lot of creepy images, and I really love the facial expression. There's great detail in this book. Ultimately, this is a fun read for this time of month. Read this with the lights on, and I rate this 4.5 out of 5. Next, The Sixth Gun, written by Cullen Bunn and art by Brian Hurd. And the best way to describe this is if Supernatural was a Western. Imagine 6 demonic guns, each possessing a unique part of their own. There's one that makes you young, another one that gives you images of the future and the past, etc., etc. Now, once the gun has an owner, no one may use it but them. These guns are held by some rather nasty men who are trying to free their boss, Confederate General Hume, and who's looking for his own demonic gun. The comic follows Drake Sinclair who's trying to stop him. Drake Sinclair is selfish, he only looks out for himself, he's a rogue and a scoundrel. This comic is what Cullen Bunn is known for, and that's an awesome thing because it's an action-packed story. It's a great comic. I love the dialogue and the use of colorful metaphors. The artwork is vivid and gives it a really Western vibe to it. Without giving away any spoilers, there's a saloon fight, a desert scene, a fight in the fort, some really classic Western cinema type of scenes. Now, if you're not into Westerns or you like this comic, here I'm a little biased because I love Westerns, but there's enough supernatural elements in here that you will love this comic. This is one of the best comic books out there today, not just for the month of October, but it's a great read for this month. I definitely recommend it. I give it a 5 out of 5 stars. Next, Severed. Written by Scott Snyder and Scott Tuff, art by Taylor Futaki. And this comic takes place in Jamestown, New York, 1916, and follows the young boy Jack Barrow, a talented young violinist who runs away from home because he's in search for his father. Unfortunately for him, there's a killer of young kids out there who's also a cannibal. Read this story to see if Jack survives. Scott Snyder is a talented writer and can do any genre. He could absolutely do horror. I think it was a smart move set in the past where you could get stranded in the middle of nowhere and not have any easy way to communicate because there's no cell phones back then. The artwork is excellent and really adds to the creepy vibe to it. I especially love the touch of the tattoos on the killer because it really added a scary vibe to it. This is an excellent comic for this time of month. The trade is easily available by now, and read this if you dare. Mwahahaha. I rate this 4.5 out of 5. Last but not least, and the comic that's on display back there, Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash. Written by Jason Kerrick and art by Jason Craig, this comic takes place after the events of Freddy vs. Jason. Freddy finds out about the Necronomicon Ex Mortis and is going to trick Jason into getting it. Meanwhile, an S-Marts opens up at Crystal Lake and Ash gets transferred there. This is the ultimate battle between Freddy from Nightmare on Elm Street, Jason from Friday the 13th, and Ash from Army of Darkness as all three get into a drag-down, brutal fight. This is the golden standard of crossovers. All the characters were voiced correctly, their interactions were perfect. It was everything I wanted and more. I'm a big fan of all three film franchises. The artwork was brilliant and gorgeous. It was horrific. If you're a fan of classic bloody horror deaths, you won't be disappointed by it. I was a little hesitant in recommending this comic because the trades have become a little difficult to get at a reasonable price, but I checked and there's plenty of single issues out there, so at this point it'd be easier and cheaper to just get the single issues. Still, highly recommended. I read this every October. I would love it if they made a film from this. This was a great crossover. I can't recommend it enough. I rate it 5 out of 5 stars. Okay, I want to apologize for my video running way too long, but blame Luluko. She's very awesome and I had to discuss what she said, so blame her. Anyways, remember to like, subscribe, check out the other Geeks of the Week, and stay geeky. Motherfucker, I said shit. God damn. I hate green eggs and spam, motherfucker, I said shit. God damn. I am Sam, I am, motherfucker, I said shit. God damn. Sit on my face and slam, motherfucker, I said shit.
How'd you do, man?